WLS.
Coming up today at 2 on Road Rubber, what's your top fruit? The mandarin orange.
Oh, I had a different one in mind. Plus, I'll take a ham sandwich, hold the needles.
Roan Roper afternoons, 2 to 6, 89 WLS.
Hi, good morning. Don Wade and Rome at 8:37. 89 WLS gives you the chance to be a star. Details coming up in the 8 a.m. hour this morning. That's only minutes away on 89 WLS. The next time Mitt Romney is asked by a reporter, print or TV reporter, about Bain Capital, here's the answer. I figured out the answer that he should give, and it's pretty simple. And I don't understand why he hasn't given this answer yet. The answer is, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The president wants you to keep asking me to explain exactly when I left Bain Capital, exactly when I signed some documents a decade ago. Are you kidding me? Why don't you ask him to explain 8.2% unemployment, 41 straight months over 8% unemployment? Why don't you ask him to explain his promise that his policies would reduce unemployment to 6% by today? Why don't you ask him to explain outsourcing thousands of jobs to Finland to build a green Fisker car with our tax money? Ask him to explain sending jobs to China to produce batteries for hybrid and electric cars with our tax money. Why don't you ask him to explain his requiring the U.S. military to buy biofuels at $56 per gallon for the Air Force, forcing the U.S. Navy to purchase biofuels for $26 a gallon for a strike group exercise costing millions of dollars? Why don't you ask him to explain why he spent $535 million U.S. tax dollars on Solyndra and lost $535 million tax dollars in bankruptcy? Why don't you ask him to explain why unemployment in the black community is 14.4%? Why unemployment among black youths is about 50%? Ask him why so many multi-million-dollar contracts for green projects that he's awarded went to his cash contributors. Are you kidding me? He keeps telling you in the media to ask me to explain what I did at a private company with private money a decade ago. Are you kidding me? I ran a company that risked private investor money to save, revive failing private businesses with private money. That's capitalism. That's what it's all about. Why don't you ask him to explain what he did with billions and billions and billions of taxpayer dollars lost when he gave it to his friends and cronies and contributors? Are you kidding me? He wants you to ask me to explain exactly when I left Bain Capital. I want you to ask him exactly what is he doing that is now sending the economy into another recession. Worst consumer spending last month since 2008, the height of the crisis. When does the president have to explain what he's done for 4 years with our money? With what result? Are you going to ask him to explain? Or are you going to keep asking me about Bain? Are you kidding me? That's the answer I'd suggest. You got a better one? Our number is 591-8900. Are you kidding me?
I love that. I think you should send it. Write it and send it to him today.
And when they get through with Bain, then it's the tax returns. And then it's 1 year.
But today it's Mormonism. New York Times is back on Mormonism this morning.
Well, when is it going to be Muslimism? Romney says he's going to release 2 years. Do we have Mitt Romney? He says that's it. You know, this business of 12 years, 20 years, 100 years of tax returns. He says, I'm doing more than what the law requires.
John McCain ran for president and released 2 years of tax returns. John Kerry ran for president. You know, his wife, who has hundreds of millions of dollars, she never released her tax returns. Right. Somehow this wasn't an issue. We're going to put out 2 years of tax returns and put out one already.
Yeah.
You know what? He should tell people what he is. He is a businessman. He actually is an efficiency expert. It's been his business in life to take companies that were mediocre and sclerotic and try to make them efficient and dynamic. That's exactly what he did. And it has been his job to be the corporate version of a personal trainer. He takes people who are puffy, self-indulgent, and whip them up into shape. That was what he did at Bain. They would take companies, restore them to good health, and sell them again. That's what our country needs. That's what our whole economy needs. A personal trainer.
Yeah.
Shape us up.
Okay, well, I don't think there's a problem here. I am not discouraged because it's going to come down. The election is not going to be about individual, and the individual is going to be the secondary. The primary thought in most voters' minds is going to be, do I want to vote for more of the same, which is pretty much going in a socialist path, or do I want a different idea? Like capitalism. Do I want to get back to the idea of capitalism, which is more the individual being celebrated, the individual who built this country into what it is today? And I think that's what it's going to be all about. It's either going to be socialism or it's going to be capitalism.
Don, you're getting texts from everywhere. 815-224-708, all saying Don for Romney campaign manager.
Oh, and by the way, Ed Gillespie was not wearing a leather jacket on Sunday. I went back and checked. It's ridiculous. It's 16 to 8 at WLS.
89 WLS.